Welcome back to the virtual handshake training. Now, module 4 is a bit of a different one. You may be scratching your head at the title here of the word slow money, but we're talking about proven selling strategies from the real world and moving it online. And so, what I mean by slow money is long-term success in an online business requires patience and avoiding seductive shortcuts. Now, this is a power pack statement. So, what I want to do is start with an actual example that illustrates this better than I could by sitting here trying to describe it to you all day long. Let's look at two different squeeze pages. If you're not familiar with a squeeze page, it's basically a single web page where a seller or a business owner is trying to get a prospective buyer to join their mailing list so that later on they can sell them something. Now, a traditional approach in the online marketing world is on the left side here, where it can be very vague and almost a secretive type of almost blind copy saying, I've got this great secret that's going to solve a problem for you. You don't know who's offering it to you. You don't really know much of anything. You really want, your curiosity is so aroused that you put your name and email in because you need the answer. And you hit that submit button and you go and get the answer, and then you unsubscribe from that person's list as fast as possible because you don't want to be sold to. And on the right side, there's somebody that takes a different approach where they're giving away a secret, but they actually take time to get on video and they're brave enough to say who they are and what their name is and why they're doing this and why they think you might want this information. And they take time to connect with you. Now, you're pretty interested in what they have to say, so you sign up with your name and email and you hit submit, but now you actually want to see what else they have to say because there they are on video again on the thank you page telling you more about what you just signed up for and what to stay tuned for. Now, here is where a little bit of the slow money discussion comes in. On the left side, you will get traditionally a much higher conversion rate, meaning that for the number of people that visit your page, you will get more people signing up with their name and email and hitting submit on the left side because of the curiosity factor than you will on the right side, because it takes a little bit longer for them to watch the video and maybe they're just not patient enough, or you've taken a little bit more of a conservative approach, let's say, that the conversions may be half of the size they were on the left side. But this is sort of the slow money methodology in play. When you take the approach on the left-hand side, you're really just trying your very best to get that person to do something so that you can sell to them, and they really do feel like a number. So yes, your conversions may be higher, but what is the quality? What is the long-term value of that conversion? In my experience, when you measure this out over the course of 2 or 3 or even 5 years, while you're getting much lower conversions on the right side, the value and the quality of those conversions end up making you a lot more money and being worth a lot more value to your business in the long run when you take this approach on the right side. And that comes back to this whole virtual handshake methodology, which is selling as you would in the offline world and simulating that online. You're not going to walk up to somebody offline and hand them mysteriously hand them this flyer that tells them to go to some website to get something and then run away. And especially if you're the person selling that product that the flyer is advertising, that would just creep them right out, and they would probably not want anything to do with you ever again. If it's the offline world, you would probably take some time to introduce yourself and maybe exchange business cards and casually mention what you do, but you would take a very soft sell, a casual approach, knowing that the value of the relationship is much more important than that one transaction, getting them to buy something from you now that they've met you. And I'm sure you've been in a situation where you're desperate, you were cold calling, especially if you're an entrepreneur, where you've had to kind of desperately sell people. It sucks. You feel like you're bothering people, and most people want to hang up the phone or close the door on your face, and I'm sure you do that to other people when they try to sell you that way as well. So this is really what I'm talking about when I say slow money. It's doing things that don't necessarily give you the immediate return and don't necessarily create the immediate cash flow. But over the long run, what's going to pay you more money? What's going to build a more sustainable business? Those are the types of questions. That's the type of thinking that I want to encourage for you here. So let's talk about what some slow money habits really are all about. And when I say slow money, I'm talking about giving yourself a chance to make real progress, make real money long term in your business. So this is long term thinking, 5+ years. Every decision you make, every sales funnel that you create, every video you create, every product and service and offer that you put out on the market, and even those surrounding things, the blog posts that you put up and the YouTube videos and the podcasts, are you in a desperation mode trying to get somebody to take action really quick so you can make money today or solve a real pain point for you today, not with no concern for the future? Or are you really thinking, what's this going to mean? What's this action? How is that going to pan out for me 3, 4, 5 years down the road or even longer? The more you think long term, the better decisions you'll end up making today and in the short term. You think quality versus quantity. Again, back to that squeeze page example, the person on the left side is just in it for the quantity. How many leads can I get? What's the maximum conversions? My squeeze page converts at 75%. But they don't go on to tell you that nobody does anything after that. They just tell you that their squeeze page converted at 75%. Meanwhile, the guy who's not bragging about his conversions with the video because he's only getting 15% is getting a lifetime value out of those customers that's paying him thousands and thousands of dollars, where the person's that's getting the 75% conversions is making next to nothing because there was no long-term value. There's no quality. So it's quality versus quantity thinking. But I also want to make a bit of a caveat here, because when we get into this discussion of quality versus quantity, I see this actually tripping up a lot of entrepreneurs, because my guess is that you're somebody who does want to put a quality product and create a quality business. And so you don't want to rush. You want to do the best job that you can possibly do. And you're not just trying to funnel people through an assembly line so you can make some money today with no concern for the future. I'm assuming you're not that kind of person. So what tends to happen with people that are not that kind of person is they get so focused on quality versus quantity that they don't ever actually take any action. And this is the distinction that I want to make, that it's okay to take action and put something out that isn't the absolute perfection of the world. If you have a product or you have a sales funnel or some kind of action that you want to take and it's ready to go and you've done your best work, it's okay to take action, even if it isn't the world's highest quality product, as long as you've done your best job and the quality of your service to support it and to make the improvements that may be suggested to you once you put this thing out there for potential criticism. That's where the quality thinking comes in versus the quantity thinking. So don't let this whole obsession with quality stop you from taking action. My point here is that people who focus on quantity and just how many conversions can I get and how many sales can I make today, that short-term thinking of solving the bill, paying the bills today and bringing all the money in without any concern for the future, is where real problems set in. And you often do things like, selling somebody a service that they don't need, selling somebody a product that doesn't match their needs. So yeah, you get the transaction today and you get the money in your bank, but 2 weeks or 2 days or maybe 2 months or whatever it may be down the road, that person that you made this poor transactional decision with is now unhappy. And now you're dealing with a really messy situation and you're giving refunds or you're dealing with disputes, or it could be worse. And that is where real problems kick in. So slow money will often prevent these things from happening. And again, long-term value. You're building assets versus making money when you take a slow money approach, right? The person who's trying to make money is just doing whatever they can to pay the bills, and they'll often, again, make poor decisions for long-term thinking. When you're talking about building assets, so here's a really good example. When I like to recommend different products or programs to my clients, I will often go out of my way to create a lot of additional material for my customers that will help them get benefit from the product that I'm recommending. So let's say I send an email to some of my clients saying, hey, there's this new piece of software and I've been using it and I think you're really going to get a lot of benefit. Here's my affiliate link. I'm going to get compensated if you buy this, but I really believe in it. So not only will you get the great benefits of this product I'm recommending, but I'm going to give you some support, and here's some training videos that I've created from my world that once you buy the software will help you get up and running a lot more quickly. Now, that is slow money thinking. It's going to take you a lot longer to do a promotion like that because instead of just contacting your clients and saying, hey, go buy this thing, I need the affiliate commission, you might be spending a day or 2 days or a week or spending some money to hire somebody to create these training materials. But you're now creating an asset that A, will create a way higher perceived value for your clients. They're going to trust you even more, that you're not just making a recommendation, but you're going above and beyond to ensure that they will get value from your recommendation. And you're creating this asset, this training component, this video, whatever it is that you've built in my example here, that you can use again in the future. You can use it over and over again. So it's an asset that will bring you money both now and in the long run. So the slow money habit is doing something that may take you a little bit longer to make that immediate money, but again, measure this out in the course of a year, 3 years, 5 years, you're going to be making a lot more money when you take a look at it from that perspective. The short term, the making money today habit says, well, I don't have time to do all that bonus stuff. I need to make money. This product's launching today and I know my customers want it, so here's a link. And I'm not saying that's never a valid thing to do. But what I am saying, and that's just one example, what I am saying is the slow money method is usually a delayed type of gratification. So there's going to be all kinds of examples where if you take that patient approach, you will be rewarded for it. And what this all boils down to really is understanding the lifetime value of a customer versus the transactional value of a customer. The best way to describe this, I've used the example earlier, is when you are willing to walk away, to tell a customer, a prospective buyer who wants to buy something, but you don't have the right fit, and you tell them that I recommend you don't buy this because it's not the right fit for you. You're not making money on that transaction right now. You're delaying the gratification, which will ultimately turn to pain anyways in that situation, but you're delaying that because the lifetime value of the customer that you're dealing with is going to be so much higher. Walking away from a deal or taking the time to put together the right offer or craft the right bonus or spending extra money to support the product or answer your customers' questions above and beyond, working after hours in some cases when you have to. When you look at these slow money habits, it's allowing you to contribute to the lifetime value of the customer, and then you don't worry so much about the transactional value. Now, this can be very hard to balance. When you're first starting out in business, you're looking for ways to make money today, and I don't want to ignore that point. You need to make money quickly. So the slow money habits does not mean you can't make money immediately, but I'm talking about the way you run your business and the way you treat your customers in a way that the lifetime value of these people is high, and then they want to come back to you over and over again. So it means making decisions sometimes that will hurt you in the short term from a money perspective, but help you in the long term from a revenue generation and company asset perspective. So let's switch over and look at the exercise. And it's not really an exercise. For Module 4, we have a tip sheet. So just take out the slow money tips, print those out, make sure you have them handy either on a piece of paper, or you even might want to replicate this to your mobile device, save it into an Evernote file, something that you can use to remind yourself on an ongoing basis that the slow money method is a very, very powerful tactic. It's a powerful mindset that you can use to incorporate into the virtual handshake type of world.